step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Very good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in bright and early on this beautiful Wednesday morning. My name is Graham Richards. Welcome. You are live with Expresso. Coming to you, of course, in a slightly revised time slot. We are now on your screens from 6 until 8, making way for our Matrix, for Waza Matrix, helping in whatever way we can, our Matrix, to bridge that gap. It's been a tough year, so we're glad to help out in that respect. But fear not, we continue with the Feel Good after our live show with a live broadcast on Facebook. We've got JP Sebastian in the house, getting all fired up about the movies, and of course he's going to bring us some of the latest trailers. But cinemas have reopened. How are we broaching that? Really interesting as well. Chef Clem is standing by with your culinary conundrums, because we will be opening the lines this morning. We absolutely love the culinary hotline. And then Jamie is going to be crossing live all the way from Joburg. She continues her journey, her adventure in the City of Gold, and she is with a model, actress, entrepreneur, all-round superstar, and good old friend Sashi Naidu. She's going to be spending the morning with her. Should be loads of fun. I think she'll be a wonderful host. And of course, we are your hosts this morning, so please stick around. Whatever you're doing, just chill out, relax, maybe get back into bed, get yourself a cup of coffee. We got you in our clutches, and we are really glad to see this particular face back in studio. Good morning, Kootles.
Oh, very good morning to you, G. Molweni nonke emzansi, Kamalam Gukuhle Adams. I have missed you so much. Thank you so much for choosing to start off your morning with us right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, this past weekend, sive indaba ezibuhlungu, very heartbreaking news, the passing of Chadwick Boseman, who is known as Black Panther and in many other, amazing movies. And we find comfort in knowing, though, that he has lived a life of purpose, that he has fulfilled his purpose, and we learned so much from him and his art over the years. That's why on our social media platform, we want to know from you. Chadwick Boseman has left a legacy that will live on forever. What would you like to be remembered for? Hashtag Expresso Show. Now, that's something to think about, and we would like to know what your thoughts are, what you would like to be remembered for should the time come that you leave this earth. What legacy would you like to leave behind? Now, let us know on our social media platforms using that also important hashtag Expresso Show. But right now, though, as we get the ball rolling, let's see what's happening with the news headlines.
Thanks so much, Kutle. Let's start with our national news. Eskom last night announced that due to a severely constrained generation system as a result of multiple unit breakdowns, it'll be implementing load shedding again today. A total of 10 generation units have broken down at 7 power stations in a matter of just 2 days, with the power utility citing unreliable and aged infrastructure. The rolling blackouts will last from 8 in the morning until 10 in the evening today. Eskom warned that there is a high probability that additional stages of load shedding may be implemented at short notice, so whatever apps you're using, keep an eye. Then staying in the country, Nahawu yesterday held a national day of prayer across the country for frontline workers. It was dedicated to the memory of all workers and frontline workers in particular who had lost their lives to COVID-19. Meanwhile, the country has recorded 1,218 new cases, bringing the cumulative number of infections now to 628,259. The Department of Health has also reported 114 more deaths, bringing our death toll in the country to 14,263. The recovery rate continues to be on the up and up, though, almost 550,000, translating to 87% of those infected. Then on the international front, Belarus police have detained a number of students as they mark the start of the academic year with protests against longtime leader Alexander Lukashenko. Protests against Lukashenko's rule have continued across Belarus since the 9th of August, since their presidential election on the day, which was widely regarded as being rigged and rejected by the EU and the US as neither free nor fair. For the past 3 Sundays, the center of the city of Minsk has been filled with crowds of between 100 to 200,000 protesters. Then 3 sailors have died and 1 is missing after their tugboat capsized while they were helping to clear the major oil spill off Mauritius. 4 others were rescued after the boat collided with a barge yesterday. Accident happened 2 days after major protests in the country over the government's handling of the cleanup. Now, about 1,000 tons of oil spilled out into the sea after the Japanese ship, the MV Wakashio, struck a coral reef on the 25th of July. Concern mounted further after 39 dead dolphins were found washed up on the Mauritian shoreline. And now news of yet another female conquest of a male bastion. Amy Perrett has made history by becoming the first woman to referee a men's Super Rugby match. And that's a fitting way to finish 2020 Women's Month. In fact, I think we should call this 2020 Women's Year. The young Australian mother took charge of the clash between the Brumbies and the Western Force. That was last weekend in Canberra after regularly running the sidelines in other Super Rugby matches this season. So Perrett was already the first woman official in Super Rugby, having been assistant referee for a showdown between the Melbourne Rebels and the Stormers back in 2016. She said she's just focused on doing the job to the best of her ability and will be joining a fantastic team of Sanzar refs right across Australia, New Zealand, South Africa and Argentina, who referee Super Rugby week in and week out. She hopes her achievements will serve as a launching pad to greater sporting achievements for other women. She's added, it's an old cliche, but you can see it, you can be it. However, I do hope that I've done it and anyone else can, and she has certainly proven that. And what a great footing to start our sporting headlines this morning. We start with tennis, and rising South African tennis star Lloyd Harris has advanced to the US Open second round after seeing off Italian Marco Goccianato in straight sets, 6-4, 7-6, 6-2 in the first round yesterday. 23-year-old from Cape Town beat Goccianato in a time of 1 hour and 54 minutes to book his spot in the second round for the first time. Next, he'll face off against Belgium's 7th seed David Goffin. Now on to sevens news. The Hamilton and Sydney rounds of the 2020-2021 HSBC World Rugby 7 Series have been cancelled, obviously due to the ongoing concerns over the spread of the coronavirus. The legs were provisionally scheduled to take place in January next year. 4 events of the upcoming season now have been axed. The Dubai and Cape Town legs also included in that, being called off in July. And on to cricket. Pakistan beat England by 5 runs to draw the 3-match T20 International Series 1 apiece at the Emirates Old Trafford in Manchester last night. So England, who led the series 1-0, won the toss, chose to bat first. Visitors reaching 190 runs for their allotted 20, with 19-year-old Haider Ali hitting 54 from just 33 deliveries on debut. And Mohammad Hafiz, as always, starring with the bat, reaching 86 from 52 deliveries, hitting 6 sixes and 4 fours in the process. England were only able to manage 184 for 8 on the night. I'll touch on those stories and headlines one more time this morning on the top of the hour. Right now, Kutli is standing by with the latest on the weather front.
Here's the first look at the weather report, but first your sunrise pictures. Bumelelonga woke up to a heavily clouded Pietermaritzburg. Your temperatures for the day range from 13 to 25 degrees. Fatakan sent us the stunning image of how Richards Bay woke up today. You start off the morning on a low of 16 degrees and the sun will make an appearance with an afternoon temperature of 22 degrees. Thank you, Mpumelelo and Fatakan, for your sunrise pictures. You at home can also contribute towards our sunrise pictures and we will show them live on the show. Now, rebuilding after a disaster is never easy, but recovering from Hurricane Laura in southwestern Louisiana in America will undoubtedly require a Herculean effort. This is the opinion of Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards. He says electricity could be out for weeks, water can't flow from damaged systems, and in the interim, to add to everyone's woes, the heat index could reach 44 degrees Celsius in the next few days. 6 districts have been declared federal disaster areas. Laura was responsible for the deaths of at least 42 people in the U.S. and the Caribbean. Now back home, parts of the Western Cape can expect severe thunderstorms today, which could lead to localized flooding. But Polokwane is a partly cloudy day at a low of 10, reaching a high of 17. Bombela 10, 16 with 25% chance of rain. Pretoria also 25% chance of rain at a low of 5, reaching an afternoon temperature of 19. Jozi Maboneng 6, 13. Mahikeng 11, 20 with 65% chance of rain. Klerksdorp, it's going to be a heavily rainy day at 82% chance of rain and a low of 10, reaching a high of 21. Kimberley 11, 21. Bloemfontein starts off the morning on a low of 10 degrees, reaching a high of 21 degrees. Richards Bay, 25% chance of rain at a low of 16 and a high of 22. Pietermaritzburg, it's a partly cloudy day, 13, 25. South Africa's Playground, Durban, 14, 20. Mthatha, 10, 28 with 25% chance of rain. Right next door, Mthatha, East London, 57% chance of rain, 16, 23. Cradock, 4, 23. Port Elizabeth, 13, 22. And George, 11, 22 is your maximum for the day. It's a rainy day in Cape Town as well, at a maximum of 15 with 72% chance of rain. Worcester, 67% chance of rain, 6, 13. Sutherland, a partly cloudy day with a low of 11, reaching a high of, low of 2 rather, reaching a high of 11. And lastly, Uppington, a partly cloudy day for you at a low of 4 degrees, reaching a high of 23 degrees. We'll have another look at the weather at the top of the hour, but for now, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
Well, you're up for it. You're in for a feel-good type of day. Thank you for that,
Wrap up
Kuhle.
warm.
Yeah.
Just wrap up warm.
Yeah, we're going to need to in most parts of the country. Well, listen, the feel-good continues here on your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on SABC3. We're live all the way through to 8 o'clock and so much going on, so much feel-good content. We're going to get to meet this author who's fantastic. Her name is Stacey Frew. She's written 5 books. She's the youngest author in South Africa, in Africa.
On the
possibly
continent.
On the continent.
Maybe in the world.
Maybe in the world even. And she inspires children with Cadbury. So you're going to find out about that.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing her narrative. Then, of course, we're going to be crossing live to Jamie with Sashi Naidu. We're going to be joining our princess in her home up for this morning. Should be a great way to start the day. She's an absolute gem, so can't wait for that as well. So plenty to look forward to. Stick around. We'll see you on the other side.
What's better than a sugar-coated, deliciously crispy golden brown donut and 100% Arabica beans brewed to perfection? Treat yourself and warm up your morning with a little sweetness from McCafe with the all-new mini donut and cappuccino offer. A little lovin' doesn't have to cost a lot. Great coffee, simple. Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half Project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hey. Happy birthday. Hey, hey. Welcome back to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, that time of the morning where we wish you, yes, you at home, if you are celebrating your birthday, a very happy birthday. Because, you know, every day, millions of people all over the world, they celebrate their birthdays. We just pick a few of you to celebrate on the show. But let's
Very
start with
special ones.
Andile Dlamini, who is multi-talented, one of the most talented players of our country. She is 28 years old.
Look at
Andile
that.
started as a defender for the Mamelodi Sundowns, but of course later transmuted to the goalkeeping position. You know, she is trying currently to secure her position as Banyana's trusted goal minder, which I think she'll do a good job at. I love her so much, and we wish her all of the best. Happy birthday, Andile Dlamini. Oh, my Asa, man.
Azo. Now down to the real celebrity, and that's you guys, our loved and loyal viewers, starting off with Kwandro. Another year older, and you're just keeping getting stronger and wiser. Be safe, have fun, take pictures, and enjoy every minute of these harsh times from the OS team. Happy birthday to you. Happy 50th birthday to my brother-in-law, Malton Opalt. You are a very special brother to us. May God bless you many more years. We love you so much from your family. Happy birthday to you, Malton.
It's Ivy's birthday today. Happy birthday to the most wonderful and amazing woman ever, Ivy Boseman. May you receive God's richest blessings on your birthday. This is from your daughters, Lulesia and Milene, as well as your husband, Lucas. Happy birthday, Auntie Ivy. And then Claire turns 9 today. Look at Claire.
Aww.
For 9 years. Oh, man. For 9 years, you've graced this world with your giant heart, unending kindness, and infectious happiness. You've given us such happiness. May you have the best birthday ever. Happy birthday, Monkey Butt. Monkey Butt.
Monkey Butt.
Monkey Butt. This is from your mum and your dad. But of course, this is one of our cameraman's daughter. This is Peter's daughter here on the show. We've seen Claire, of course, come on the show. I have cooked with Claire in the kitchen. She's my friend.
She's donated.
She has donated money
to fill a bag.
She is really a girl, a young girl with such a huge, huge heart. Claire, wave and smile, Dad.
There you go.
He really is smiling behind that mask. Happy birthday.
This one goes out to Shivanos. Happy birthday to Shivanos. May God richly bless you with all that you pray for, from Uncle Warren, Auntie Tanya, and cousins Tanika and Caleb. Happy birthday to you. Happy 50th birthday to my mom, Manjo Modawung. May you have a wonderful birthday filled with lots of laughter, joy, and love, from Naledi Modawung. Happy birthday to you, Mommy.
You gorgeous people, happy birthday to all of you. Of course, if it is your birthday and we haven't mentioned your name, still happy birthday to you. And if you want to be featured on the show, we are always looking for those videos. Please do send them to us on WhatsApp of yourself singing a song to your loved one who's celebrating their birthday, maybe. Send it to 071-6406-551. Of course, you can also email your wishes to birthdays@kadova.tv. But of course, from celebrating birthdays to celebrating the accomplished youth of South Africa and the amazing stories within all of us here in this country. It's 13-year-old award-winning author, talking about Stacey Frew, who really is an inspiration to all of us. I'm going to grab a yogurt. You want a yogurt? Grab a yogurt. Grab a yogurt. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and always so good to have you at the start of a brand new day. Now, author of 5 books, Stacey Frew is the youngest author in Africa, if not the world, who wrote her first book, Smelly Cats, without her parents knowing this at the age of 7. Now, this book was approved by the South African Department of Basic Education as suitable for young learners from early childhood through to primary school. Now, Stacey won 3 awards for this book and her other works before her second book, Bob and the Snake, was published. And she's an inspirational young lady who wants to keep inspiring South Africans. And she believes life is not a bed of hatred. You grow and you become better when you fight to spread love and have fun in a child's kind of way. Stacey joins us this morning to talk about where she found all of this confidence to share her story and how exactly other children can get involved in the Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and Half Project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Stacey, so good to see you. You've got a stunning looking office. You mean business. How are you?
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm good. And yourself? And thank you for having me on the show this morning.
Very good, very good.
Stacey, I can't even believe that you're only 13 years old. I mean, you were fortunate to become a published author at such an unbelievable age. How did you first discover storytelling and, you know, the story that you wanted to share with everyone?
Yes, so the story goes a while back when I was still around 7 years old, and my mother graduated with her master's thesis. And I saw this as, just a regular thing, a regular happy event, until I started seeing everyone praising this book. So I put 2 and 2 together, and I came to the conclusion that my mother had written this book without me. So I took it upon myself to say that, okay, she has written this book without me. I'm going to go ahead and write my own book without her. So that is what really kickstarted my writing journey. But ever since then, I was always a child that loved reading because my parents pushed that onto my siblings and I at an extremely young age, which also explains how I was able to write a book of that caliber at such a young age. But ever since then, I've noticed the importance of reading, and I want to advocate for that. And I want to get other children who are passionate in just about anything to share their stories.
Well, you certainly are making a very strong case for it right now. Now, your story points that we are all destined to live different, unique lives, and that sometimes fights have to happen. So why was telling this story so important to you?
Because, when growing up in a household as busy as mine, I have so many other siblings, and I'm always surrounded by my family. There constantly fights. And although most of the time they aren't harmful, you must learn from your mistakes and to build these bonds, because you need a support system in order to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And it also goes back to having a unique story. Not everyone is going to lead the same life. So you have to choose the path you want to live, and don't try and copy or follow others, and just be yourself.
I am so in awe of you and all the advice that you can give us. But maybe what piece of advice do you have for other children, who want to share their stories?
When it comes to sharing your story, there are no limits as to how long, to how short, in detail or in depth that you can go. Just share the story that feels right to you. When it comes to me sharing my story, I can talk on for ages. But in order just to maintain interest as well, but to tell someone about myself, I keep it, nice and short. So when it comes to telling your story, look for key points that you want to share with the world, because this opportunity is something that many fail to see, because there is a story in everyone, and it's up to you to choose how you use that story to impact others.
Yeah, wow. And I'm sure that there are many children out there who'd love to share their stories as well to help inspire our orphan and vulnerable children in South Africa, very special children in extraordinary circumstances. Now, you're working with Cadbury Dairy Milk to help make this a reality, to help children spread their stories. So how can other children get involved?
So as I mentioned earlier, there is a story in everyone. And with the Cadbury Dairy Milk SA Glass and a Half presents the There's a Story in Everyone, you can share your story via an entry mechanic or a WhatsApp bot. All you have to do is text hi to the certain number, and it'll give you details about how to share your story. You can share it in the form of a video, a text, or even a PDF. We are more than happy to look over the story. And the most inspirational stories will be compiled into an ebook that will be shared with orphaned and vulnerable children across South Africa, and will be available for download from the Cadbury Dairy Milk SA's website. So the whole point of this is to share your story to inspire others, so that we can change the lives of those who grew up not having much.
Stacey Frew, the youngest author in South Africa, in the world. Thank you so much for taking time out of, I'm sure, a busy schedule in a 13-year-old's life.
I mean, in that office, there's real business going down.
So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I hope that you are inspired. Man, you have to be. You have to be. There's so much to life, and Stacey Frew has just shown us just what you can achieve at the tender age of 13, and I'm sure there's so much more in her bright career to come. Now, whether real or imagined, Cadbury Dairy Milk believes there's a story in everyone, and we're encouraging all of you South Africans to be generous with your stories of hope and to share them. Now, the 20 most inspirational stories will be compiled into an ebook, as you heard, and shared with orphaned and vulnerable children all across South Africa.
So come on, South Africa, please do share your story and inspire others. Add 087-240-6488 to your WhatsApp contacts and follow the prompts. You can share your story as a Word document, PDF, or video recording. Anything will do, as long as it's inspiring and uplifting and helping those children in need.
Cadbury Dairy Milk Glass and a Half project presents There's a Story in Everyone. Visit cadbury.co.za/storytime for more information on how to share your inspirational story.
Oh, you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, I love that sound. Welcome back. Time for a little baby talk. Now, we're going to get serious, though, for a second. Choking is terrifying, yes, in its concept, but it's a very common cause of injury and, of course, death in infants. And today on Baby Talk, we've invited the lovely Aisha Alice, an emergency care technician, to teach us exactly how to act quickly in the case of an infant or a child choking. We'll give you a demonstration. We've got the slightly freaky, admittedly, dolls here. Aisha, great to have you here. Thank you so much for coming in. I am a parent. Now twice over, and this is something that absolutely terrifies me. We go through the first aid classes, but I don't think anything can really prepare you for that moment when it arrives because of the adrenaline and the fear. So the more you know and the more you can kind of wrap your head around it, I think is absolutely vital. Let's maybe start with some of the signs that your child might be in danger and choking might be the cause of that. What are the things to look out for?
Well, thank you for having me, Graham. So firstly, you could have a mild obstruction or you could have a severe obstruction. And things that you'll be looking out for is when the infant stops breathing and when they're making choking signs. So you can see the color change, you can see that they are struggling, and you can see they're attempting to cough, but nothing's moving. So you could have a mild obstruction where the infant coughs excessively and they can expel the object themselves, whereas in a severe obstruction, that is when you actually have to act. And by acting, I will then perform a quick demonstration.
I really am so keen to see the practical elements of this. Just wanting to know, up to what age, or, is this for infant? Can this go up to a child of 3? I've actually also got a 3-year-old and a 4-month-old. What age will this technique be effective up to?
So we classify the infant as being from 0 to about 1 year old, and then the child from 1 year old up until puberty. But depending on the size of the child, you could perform this technique. So even for a child older than a year. But if the child is tall enough for you to stand behind them and perform the Heimlich maneuver, then so be it. But for the infant, under 1 year old.
Under 1 year old. Okay, well, let's get into the nitty-gritty of it.
Okay.
Have you named these babies?
I haven't. So it's acceptable for you to be seated in the chair, but it's preferred for you to be on the ground, to just be closest to the ground.
Take it down.
So what you want to do is you want to grasp your baby. You can have one on you as well. So you can be seated.
Okay.
And I'll be on the ground. So you'd need to grasp the infant over your arm, support the face, as I have it here. And then you move the infant down to allow gravity to assist you expel the object.
Okay.
So what you want to do is you want to firmly apply 5 back slaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Support the head. Turn the baby over your lap onto the other side. You will look in the mouth. So again, tuck the baby nicely in under your arm. Look in the mouth. Do you see the object? Only if you can see the object can you scoop it out to the side. Then you perform 5 chest thrusts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the back slaps and the chest thrust is to expel the object. If the object is not expelled, you'll perform that sequence again. Okay. Bear in mind that the infant is still awake at this point in time. So you'll do 5 back steps, and then over to the other arm, followed by other arm, 5 chest thrusts. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the object is out, that would be where you can just turn the patient on the side. Okay, but if the object is still in the airway and the infant becomes unresponsive, that is when you have to lay the infant on the floor. At this point, you then call for help. Okay. So initially, you need to act immediately, but once the infant becomes unresponsive and you haven't expelled the object, lay the infant on a hard, flat surface, call for help, and then begin CPR, starting with chest compressions.
Okay, maybe you want to give us a demonstration of that.
Well, yeah, so after you've now assess that the patient is unresponsive, you'll call for help, dialing 112 as the emergency number. Expose the chest. You want to see where you're going to place your fingers. So just below the nipple line, you'll compress about 30 times. As a lay rescue, a single person, you will then compress with 2 fingers, counting from 1 to 30. After your 30 compressions, you'll then look in the airway. So you don't routinely look in the airway, but in the event of choking, you then look in the airway, and then you'll seal your mouth over the infant's nose and mouth when you administer breaths.
You breathe, okay.
Yeah. So
It's chilling to think of, but you've got to be able to do that. Can you just take us through those steps just one last time very quickly?
No problem.
For the choking elements.
So in the event of choking, like I said, you want to be closest to the ground. You didn't want to treat the infant standing while they are choking. So you move down to the ground, grasp the face firmly. And for your baby, you said 4 months. She might be a bit big, so you can tuck the infant underneath your arm as well, just to have a firm grip here. Because they can be quite large. They're not as light as these mannequins. So you lean him over your lap, 5 back slaps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grasp the head over to the other arm, tuck the infant in under your arm, and you have 5 chest thrusts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you look in the mouth. Very important that you just need to also be aware of, try not to lift the arms when they're choking and slap the back, because that could further lodge the object into the airway.
Okay.
People tend to think that they should do that.
What your first response would actually...
Yeah, and if you are back slapping while they are in an upright position, you could also further lodge the object in the airway. And when it comes to babies that are breastfeeding and they just ingesting milk, they could aspirate on the milk and not so much choke on the milk. So then what you can do is you can just turn the infant on their belly and allow the fluid to expel itself.
Let gravity do its thing, which
That's
seems to
it,
be the cause. Simple, effective. Thank you so much, Aisha. That really has, I feel empowered. Hopefully that's helped you a little bit to feel empowered. I think the most important thing is act and act quickly. If this doesn't work, then you call someone. What's that number again?
112.
112.
Hello to all new mommies out there. There's absolutely nothing more exciting than a new bundle of joy. It's an amazing and life-changing experience. While it can be overwhelming and challenging at the beginning, the one thing that you don't need to worry about is finding the perfect sleep suits, bibs, blankets, and basic items that you need for your nursery. We're joined by our resident fashion and beauty editor, Nox Mafu, and medical doctor and influencer, Cara Rehnquist Haynes. Ladies, a very good morning to you.
Thank you for having me.
This for me is super exciting. I think the best thing is like buying for those small little cute
It's
toes.
the cutest
and
thing
the
ever.
thing is, congratulations on being a new mom.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Is that like something that you need to be, you feel like you need to be congratulated for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
You're just like, I carried a child for 9 months. How has that journey been, especially during a time of COVID-19?
Okay, well, my pregnancy was just like a whole roller coaster of emotions. I mean, I was working as a GP until 2 weeks before I gave birth.
Wow.
And I just felt like I had a duty to still, serve the community. But that put me at increased exposure. So it was lonely at times. It was a lot of anxiety. Would my husband even be present at the birth? But thankfully, all of that worked out, and he was there. And not being able to get visitors and all of that turned out to be a blessing, because you could really like bond as a family, like you wouldn't maybe be able to in other times, you know? So everything worked out, and I would just like want all the moms to just take a breath. It's going to be okay, you know?
It's going to be okay. And also it's an interesting time. You're going to look back and think to yourself, hey man, you were born during COVID-19.
Rainbow babies, they're bringing love.
But one thing, apart from worrying about the pandemic and everything else, I mean, the excitement still remains when you're trying to shop for your baby.
Yeah,
what are your top items on your nursery list?
Well, for nursery specifically, decor, it was so much fun planning all of that. But in your nursery, you have your bedding and all of that, and it's very important to keep things safe. So you don't actually want a whole lot of blankets. It's a risk of SIDS and suffocation. So Woolies actually has these perfect sleeping bags, and it's very nifty. It comes with these clips, and you basically just zip baby into it. It keeps baby safe. You don't have to worry about it being in their face or anything like that. Then obviously, just like your fleece blankets, keeps them nice and warm, and just cot bumpers. There's a whole range that you can find at Woolies. It's really cute.
I feel like safety is the number one
Yes, of
priority
course.
for any parent out there.
Yeah.
They're so fragile and they're so small, and they're also just trying to figure it out, this new world. Nox, Cara touched on, the safety aspect of it, but what other materials and kind of what should we add to our shopping list that cover the safety aspect of it as well?
I think, you know, what we do know is that new moms are obviously always looking for something that is safe, that is comfortable for the baby. So I think what the most important thing to look for is definitely the material. So you're looking for things that are 100% cotton, things that are very soft on the kids' clothes to make sure that the skin doesn't get irritated. And of course, the safety measures are super important. And what I love about the Woolworths range is that there are a lot of little tricks and tips that they've put inside the clothes to make sure that we're fine. So if you look at the shoes, for instance, they tend to have a lot of grip at the bottom so that you make sure your child definitely doesn't fall and that they're sturdy on the ground or that they slip off. I do also know that, you know, there's swimwear, for instance, which is just the cutest little item
look at that
in the world, honestly. And they've got UV protection inside the materials. So all of these things are really, really great, just elements to make sure that your child is safe and, you know, is able to be cute, obviously, and practical. But I really love, I mean, even if we look at something like this, actually what we have here is a bar tuck buckle inside here to make sure that any little bubba who's curious to just pull won't be able to get away with it. So honestly, just some lovely tips and tricks, even in the fashion, to make sure that your child is comfortable, but also looking great and safe.
And safe, that's the most important part of it. These are things that we can easily overlook. I mean, who will think about, you know, thinking about the rope thing? Because to us as a child, it's just a rope thing that I'm pulling. But, you know, the safety precautions are put in place for such things. Cara, back to the bedding. You touched on a little bit on this one over here, but what are the other bedding items that we should look out for?
Okay, so a lot of babies sleep really well being swaddled. And these muslin blankets are great for that. So they're just great for swaddling, and they're 100% cotton. They're breathable fabric. You don't have to worry about baby overheating or anything like that. And then obviously you get this is your cellular blanket, also 100% cotton. It's just great, hypoallergenic. You don't want baby to be irritated with the fabric. And then it also, you get these soft and snuggly fabrics. It also gives a sensory experience, so that helps develop their senses as well. So you have to think of everything.
Definitely there, like
you're pointing at something
elements.
there.
Yeah, I think, I mean, that soft element that Cara is speaking to is so available here. It's just a nice, cozy feeling.
Yeah, and one thing that I really love for my baby, winter babies, it's all about layering. Woolies actually has these, we don't have it here, but these one-piece woolly little jumpsuits that baby's allowed to feel free to move around in, but still be kept warm like she's wearing a blanket, you know?
I can see a little cutie on the screen. I just want to cuddle her and bring her here and just hug on her all day. Cara, you have a new baby. I'm pretty sure we're talking about the developmental stages. What kind of foods should parents be, you know, feeding their children?
Okay, so exclusively until 4 months, as breast is best if you can breastfeed, otherwise formula. But when we start introducing the solids, it can be very tricky. You want to give your child the best, you know. But that often requires that you have to spend hours pureeing foods, and it's not convenient, and we're busy moms. So Woolies has actually given us the one-stop solution with these single-serving resealable pouches, and they've selected, like perfectly selected ingredients that as you would at home, and it's almost just as you would prepare it at home. So they actually come in 3 different stages.
Okay.
So the smooth is for when you're just introducing the solids to the baby, and then as they become more experienced and more curious, they want to move on to the textures phase, and then you get the chunky, that's for your experienced babies.
So they're kind of walking you through all the stages.
Yes,
Woolies
exactly.
is truly making parenting, you know, a little bit more bearable and a little bit more easier, but ultimately the joy and everything comes from, you know, your little family. Congratulations once again. Knox, thank you so much for putting us on with Woolies. Make sure that you at home are also ready for your little one with Woolworths. They keep your baby safe and comfort in mind, and they are your one-stop shop for all your baby basics rather. You can buy all these items and more at Woolworths in store or on the Woolworths app.
Acheng. So I'm chatting to Umalume Musa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're on live with Expresso. Been an exciting morning already. Lots of love in the house, and we're going to increase that exponent now because we're about to connect with an old friend of ours, someone who's really dear to the entertainment industry. And it's amazing to know that she is really peaking at the moment despite her incredible history. It's Sashi Naidu. Jamie is standing by.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, South Africa. I am still living my best life in Johannesburg. Of course, I miss you guys so much, but I had to take the opportunity to wake up with none other than Sashi Naidu. She's, of course, a media personality, TV presenter, actress, and let's actually see if she's awake already. Let's go.
Hello.
Morning. Can we come on in?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Like, I know it's super early, but you're still in bed.
God, have you seen what time it is? Nobody wakes up at this time during COVID. This is when we like sleep in, but it's okay for you. I will wake up.
Trust me, I've never seen anyone look this flawless when they wake.
This is how we wake up.
Okay, listen, I know that first thing I've heard is about your closet, and I absolutely want to show the entire South Africa your closet. So you're going to show me the way?
Yes, I have a bit of a shopping addiction and I'm OCD, so that combination has resulted in a beautiful wardrobe.
Your house is so... Okay.
Thank you.
Your house
so
is
it's a
stunning.
walk-in wardrobe. Gosh, look at these here. So it's organized like that, but also... I think I know what you came to see, because you've heard about the shoe closet.
Wait, before we even go there, I know you said that you're OCD, but this has tags, everything has its place.
So I've got labels for everything, t-shirts, casual tops, like everything is labeled, in case I forget where it goes. Well, you know what? Can you ever find anything when you're looking for black t-shirt mid-length? I mean, you need it to be labeled, so it can...
I need you in my life.
Yes, organizational queen.
Now, wait, I feel like I need to hype this up a bit more because it has a vault. It's behind a safe room, which means
so
this
it's
is
like a panic room. So initially, I mean, it's Joburg, I'm from Peace, so I decided to have a panic room in my house. So it's like fireproof, burglar-proof. Like, you are not getting in there if I don't want you to. So it goes with the territory of Joburg, but then I decided, like, what would I do in my panic room if I ever want to get locked in there one day? So I put all my favorite possessions in there. So,
okay, now you have to show
now
me.
I can show you.
Can we just take a moment of silence before we open? Now dramatically open it. Please do it.
Dramatically open it.
Da, 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 da. Say what I'm about to die right now. This is every girl's dream.
Well, I certainly love it.
I'm sure you do. What size are you, just in case?
I'm 5.5, and I'm very open to learning emotions. I think all my friends come to play dress up at my house.
I mean, I want everybody. I'm actually a size 4, so I can't really take it. But I think that if I ever was to move to Johannesburg, I'll definitely live in the panic room, just in case like anything happens and I panic and I'm just like, I need to go somewhere.
The bags are up for grabs.
Are they?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go in and just This is what life is like in a day of Sashi Naidu, everybody. We have bags, we have shoes, we have glasses, and I mean, this is just fabulous. Sashi, I am living my best life right now.
That's why you came to visit me here in Johannesburg.
I definitely did. So obviously you have a very busy schedule. You're going to get done for us. You're going to take us through a workout today because we're spending the entire morning with you.
Oh, goodness, working out, but with you, anything, like I said.
Listen, you want to stay with us the entire morning. Sashi Naidu will be sharing her morning with us, but also taking us through a fitness routine and then also just catching up about, the business side of things, because obviously a lot of business businesses have taken a dip during this time. You have the modeling agency and so much more that you want to share with the rest of South Africa. So thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. And of course, you at home, please connect with us on social media, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Right now, we're going back to studio to find out how you can clean your house if you have allergies.
Thank you very much for staying with your Feel Good Breakfast show. It is Expresso right here on SABC3. Yes, spring has sprung. It is officially here, which means seasonal allergies will be on the rise. They really will be. But of course, before allergies get kicked up a notch, there is no better time to spring clean your home of any indoor allergens that might have built up over time or over winter. Now, we chat to allergist and pediatrician Professor Claudia Gray on how we can spring clean our home this spring for a clean, allergy-free home. Professor Gray, thank you so much for making the time.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for inviting me again.
It's always great to see you and to have you here.
Indeed it is. Now, Prof, look, we know spring is a terrible season for seasonal allergies, but what about indoor allergens that may have built up over winter? What are some of the common allergens and what symptoms can we kind of experience?
Yeah, so you're quite right. You know, allergies can come and go in seasons. The most prominent allergy season where there's a sudden onset and an end is the spring, where the pollens come. However, we mustn't forget those allergens that stick around all year round, and those are normally the indoor allergens. And interestingly, they tend to peak in autumn and winter because that's when we spend more time indoors in contact with our allergen, and also close our windows and close our doors and reduce the circulation and ventilation in our houses. So indoor allergens are classically allergens such as house dust mite, which is very prominent in the Western Cape, for example. Also our animal danders, so our cats and our dogs, their skin cells, their saliva, their hairs, those are prominent allergens too. Mold is an important indoor allergen, and also not to be forgotten is the cockroach, which is an important indoor allergen, which in fact can even cause asthma. So we've heard over the weeks that breathing in what you're allergic to can lead to a lot of mischief. This mischief can be at the level of the nose and the eyes, causing itching and redness and sneezing and congestion and runny noses. Or if you're unlucky, it can be at the level of the chest, causing an asthma attack, or a cough or a wheeze.
So, Professor, are these types of allergens hereditary, or is it something that we develop due to the environment that we grow up in?
Yeah, so totally a combination. You'd make a really good medical student. You'd write all the right answers in the exam.
Thank you for that.
We know for most diseases, genetics do play a role, and in allergies very strongly so. So if your parents or your siblings have an allergy, your chances of having allergies are much higher, but not guaranteed. There are other factors that act, and those are environmental factors or even nutritional factors, or indeed epigenetic factors such as pollution, which can affect how your genes are translated and expressed. The other important thing to know with allergies is if you have one type of allergy, it makes you more prone to get another. For example, our children with eczema from a young age are much more prone to getting eventually respiratory allergies at a later stage.
Oh, well, Professor, say no more. I'm definitely jumping on the bandwagon of the spring cleaning. So how exactly do we clean our homes of any, like, sort of, let's say, indoor allergens that may be lurking that we want to just sprightly get out the way and get our spring going again?
So the first thing to say, guys, is that actually this notion of the big spring clean for indoor allergens should really be a series of consistent and small spring cleans if we are indeed allergy-prone people, because indoor allergens are there all the time and they build up over time. There are a couple of principles such as reduce clutter, reduce fluffy things and carpets, vacuum fastidiously, ideally with a vacuum cleaner with a HEPA filter, which is a high efficiency particulate matter filter, and also reduce moisture and damp in the household, which can attract indoor allergens. So lots of ventilation in the house too. So those are the general principles, but then further spring cleaning tips depend on what allergen you're looking at and what you're allergic to. For example, house dust mite. So dust mite loves fluff. It loves carpets. So reduce carpets as much as possible. And if you have them, vacuum on a daily basis. Fluffy toys. fluffy blankets. These trap house dust mites, so try and reduce those as much as possible. If you have some, for example, a kid who always sleeps with a particular toy or a particular blanket, you can get rid of the dust mite or reduce the levels by freezing it. Dust mite is not killed at a normal washing temperature. It's a very cunning little bug. So it needs freezing or very hot. So you can put your fluffy toy in the freezer and even your fluffy cushions for about 6 hours and then wash them at normal temperature. So your bedding and everything that can be hot washed, such as sheets and pillowcases, those should be put in the wash at 60 degrees or more at least once a week. So for dust mite as well, good mattress care, keeping your mattress out in the sun every now and again, giving it a good vacuum. Having mattresses and pillows that are not too old is very important for dust mite allergy sufferers. And also, so just vacuuming, and you can cover them also with a house dust mite proof cover. So those are dust mites. So mold, for example, similar principles with the vacuuming, but also try and reduce damp in the house. Damp attracts mold. So, make sure that you ventilate your house a lot. Firewood, indoor plants, indoor washing, they can all attract water and they can all attract mold. So little principles like that. Open your cupboards every now and again. We all know how mold is attracted to dark, damp places, can even accumulate on shoes that haven't been taken out for a while. Pet dander. Vacuuming, once again, very important. Don't allow those pets into the bedroom. Wash and groom the pets regularly, so they need their own spring clean regularly, ideally outside. Cockroaches, not often thought of as an allergen. The cockroach droppings are a very important allergen in the asthma world, for example. So cockroaches love dark little places where there's food and water. So make sure all your food in your pantry is very well sealed and packed away. Make sure there are no leaky pipes, for example, that could drip water and attract the cockroaches. So lots of little tips there. Yeah. And throughout this whole process, thorough vacuuming, reducing clutter, and really reducing soft and fluffy things are a general principle.
Well, Professor Gray, it sounds like it is certainly a labor of consistency and something we should be doing all throughout the year. But thank you very much for sharing all of those insights and for joining us this morning. I should definitely be sending you an email a bit later on. I need that reference to get into med school, but thank you for this morning.
No problem at all. I will get you in no problems.
Fantastic. And now we all deserve to live allergy-free, and what better time to give your home that spring clean, ridding it of any nasty indoor allergens, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Tubbs. Now, Allergex Non-Drowsy can assist you with allergy relief for the entire day, allowing you to enjoy your life allergy-free.
Free to be you. Live, work, play, sleep, allergy-free with Allergex Non-Drowsy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, welcome back. You're live with Expresso. It's been an awesome morning, so thank you so much for sticking around. We've got another hour to enjoy with you, so please stick around more. But we're going to obviously get into something that is really cool. It offers you a very big opportunity with small little increments. Now, our favorite thing is seeing you win and win big and win often and get rewarded with the points and so much more when you sign up for Buy Smart and buy your Tiger Brands products, which most of us will be buying every day. Plus, you stand a chance of winning some incredible prizes weekly on Expresso, like a queen-size bed that Kutle needs, a fridge that Kutle might need, a washing machine that Kutle definitely needs, and a smartphone that Kutle wants as well.
No, I have that on lockdown. Now, signing up for Buy Smart is simple and all happens on WhatsApp. You can earn points for qualifying purchases on products like Jungle Oats, Tastic, Koo, Albany, and so much more.
Hey, but that's like your day's groceries. You can score on every one. So what you've got to do is just send hi on WhatsApp to 072-897-6278. And then you just follow the steps, Buy Smart promos and products.
Now, upload your till slip when you have purchased qualifying products. Receive points for your purchases and then use points to unlock rewards like airtime, data, and shopping vouchers. It's very quick and easy, and you can sign up on the go.
Yep, they've made it as simple as possible. But remember, when you sign up this month, you also stand a chance of winning weekly prizes on our show, including that queen-size bed, that fridge, that washing machine, and that smartphone. Some amazing, very valuable prizes. So sign up today, stand a chance of going into the draw for the first weekly prize that'll happen on Thursday. It could be your lucky day, but you can find out all the terms and conditions and the rates that apply on expressoshow.com, and I really suggest that you do it. Then you can wake up on your new bed.
Queen-size bed.
Queen-size.
Imagine getting that fridge. That washing machine.
It's been a while since I've lusted after a fridge. No, there really are some amazing prizes. So buy smart, because you can score every single day. But time now to get back into those news headlines.
Get rewarded for your shopping choices with Buy Smart. Send hi on WhatsApp to 072-897-6278 and follow the steps. You will stand a chance of winning incredible prizes weekly on Expresso. It's just hit 7 o'clock. Thank you very much, team. Let's take a look at those news headlines. We start off here at home, where KwaZulu-Natal Premier Zikalala has launched a provincial campaign against the scourge of gender-based violence. Zikalala, accompanied by, amongst others, Provincial Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Kombinkosi Jula, visited the area of Mtwalume on the KZN South Coast, where the bodies of 6 women were found in a sugarcane field in recent months. He said while police investigations are continuing, government has to work together with communities in an effort to bring back Ubuntu and eliminate drugs and criminal activities that are prevalent in the area. Long queues outside the South African Post Office pay points will soon be a thing of the past. This with the help of an electronic voucher system. The Post Bank and Post Office have jointly developed an electronic voucher payment system for the recipients of the SASSA monthly grants and the COVID-19 Special Relief of Distress grant, which amounts to 350 Rand. The electronic voucher system will enable grant recipients to cash their vouchers at retail outlets. In international news, the family of Paul Rusesabagina, hailed a hero in a Hollywood movie about Rwanda's 1994 genocide, has accused authorities in Kigali of kidnapping him. This after he was paraded before the media in handcuffs. The Oscar-nominated film Hotel Rwanda told the story of how hotel manager Rusesabagina used his connections with the Hutu elite to protect Tutsis fleeing the massacre. Rwandan police said Rusesabagina, who had called for armed resistance against the government, was arrested on terrorism charges on an international arrest warrant. Rusesabagina moved abroad after the genocide in the 90s. Zimbabwe has offered to return land to foreign nationals whose farms were seized under a controversial government program 2 decades ago. Thousands of white farmers were forced from their land, often violently, between 2000 and 2001. The seizures were meant to redress colonial-era land grabs, but contributed to the country's economic decline and ruined relations with the West. A separate compensation scheme has been launched for local white farmers, and they have not been offered lend, but the government last month promised them some $3.5 billion for seized infrastructure. And now news from the world of entertainment. British singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran said yesterday his wife Sherry had given birth to the couple's first child, a girl that they have named Lyra Antarctica Seaborn Sheeran. The record-breaking musician said on Instagram, alongside a photo of a pair of tiny socks, that both mum and baby were doing amazing. And of course, the 29-year-old singer, the most successful British artist of the last decade, married his childhood sweetheart Sherry Seaborn in January 2019. Earlier, on the other side of the Atlantic, Lady Gaga led this year's MTV VMAs with wins for Best Artist, Song, Collaboration and Cinematography, plus the first MTV Tricon Award honoring her work in music, acting and fashion. BTS and Ariana Grande had 4 wins each, and the Video of the Year award went to The Weeknd. The ceremony, which was filmed at several outdoor New York locations with a limited audience, was dedicated to the late Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman. The awards honored the late actor, who died of colon cancer aged just 43, with a throwback to his 2018 appearance at the MTV Movie Awards when he won Best Hero and Best Performance in a Film for playing T'Challa in Black Panther. That's where we leave it for now. Here's a look at what's happening in sports.
Thanks so much, Toby. So let's kick it off with tennis and some great news. In fact, rising South African tennis star Lloyd Harris has advanced to the US Open second round. That was after seeing off Italian Marco Coccianato in straight sets, 6-4, 7-5, 6-2 in the first round yesterday. The 23-year-old from Cape Town beat Coccianato in a time of 1 hour and 54 minutes. Quite a mammoth task to book his spot in the second round for the very first time. But next, he will face off against Belgium's 7th seed, David Goffin. Then on to more bad news for sevens. The Hamilton and Sydney rounds of the 2020-2021 HSBC World Rugby Sevens Series have now been cancelled due to the ongoing concerns over the spread of the coronavirus. The legs were provisionally scheduled to take place in January next year. 4 events of the upcoming season have now been axed. That's the Dubai and Cape Town legs that were called off in July to make up the rest of that number. Then on to a battle royale that's been unfolding in cricket. Pakistan beat England by 5 runs to draw the 3-match T20 International Series 1 apiece. That was at the Emirates Old Trafford in Manchester last night. England, who led the series 1-0 going into the encounter, won the toss, chose to bat first. Visitors reaching 190 runs in their allotted 20 overs, with 19-year-old Haider Ali hitting 54 from 33 deliveries on debut. And then old stalwart Mohammad Hafiz starring with the bat yet again, reaching 86 from just 52 deliveries, hitting 6 sixes and 4 fours in the process. England were only able to manage 185 for 8 in their reply on the night. Well, that's where we leave our sport for this morning. Let's take one last look at the weather.
Here's the final look at the weather report, but first a look at your sunrise pictures. Gary Ogum shared this breathtaking sunrise picture captured at Kids Beach in East London. It's going to be a rainy day with 57% chance of rain. Luann Duprier posted this golden disc taken in Centurion. It's mostly cloudy today with a minimum temperature of 9 degrees, reaching a maximum of 19 degrees. Thank you so much for your sunrise pictures. Please do keep them coming on our social media platforms, and we will show them live on the show. Now, rebuilding after a disaster is never easy, but recovering from Hurricane Laura in southwestern Louisiana in America will undoubtedly require a Herculean effort. This is the opinion of Louisiana Governor John Bell Edwards. He says electricity could be out for weeks, water can't flow from damaged systems, and in the interim, to add to everyone's woes, the heat index could reach 44 degrees Celsius in the next few days. 6 districts have been declared federal disaster areas. Laura was responsible for the deaths of at least 42 people in the U.S. and the Caribbean. Now, back home, parts of the Western Cape can expect severe thunderstorms today, which could lead to localized flooding. Polokwane, partly cloudy, 23% chance of rain and a low of 10 degrees, reaching a high of 17. Bomela, 10, 16 are your temperatures namhlanje. Pretoria, your temperatures range from 5 to 19. Joziba Moneng, your minimum is 6 degrees, reaching a high of 13. Now moving over to Mahikeng, 11:20. Klerksdorp, 82% chance of rain. Kimberley expects some sun and thunder showers at a low of 11, reaching a high of 21. Bloemfontein, 10:21. Moving over to Richards Bay, 16:22. Pietermaritzburg, your low is 13 and your high is 25 degrees. Durban, South Africa's playground, 14:20. Tata, your maximum temperature for the day is 28 degrees. East London, 57% chance of rain with an afternoon temperature of 23. Cradock, 4:23. Port Elizabeth, the friendly city, 13:22. George, 11:22. Cape Town, 72% chance of rain at a low of 12 degrees and a high of 15. Worcester, 6:13. Sutherland, 2:11. And lastly, Uppington, you start off the morning on a low of 4 degrees and will reach an afternoon temperature of 23 degrees. This was your final look at your weather this morning. But remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
Yeah, you make sure you do that for yourself. Make sure you give yourself a feel-good type of day. But of
It
course,
is a choice. You
it's
can actually
something
choose
you can
to make
actually
it so,
just
man.
choose.
You
You
can.
just close your eyes for 2 seconds and you go 1, 2, choice.
gonna be amazing.
Mate, it's going to be amazing. But if you are someone who struggles to wake up in the morning feeling pumped for the week, then a good cup of coffee and some words of wisdom sometimes are really all that you need to slay the day and have a feel-good type of day. And that's exactly why we ran a competition asking you at home to share your best Monday motivation quote to stand a chance of winning 1 of 10 McCafe vouchers to redeem a cappuccino and a donut, my favorite duo, and the perfect duo, of course, to get you through the week.
Yeah, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of kick, absolutely beautiful. So we've received, unbelievably, so many great entries with epic words of wisdom. And today we'd like to announce our 10 winners. So if we can get a drum roll, please. Congratulations to Crystal Fwacha, Nur Jahan Ishmael, Hawa Halim, Gail Durrell, Murandeni Mahaba, Teboho Loshton, Siabonga Malloy, Victor Nyalungu, and Rapa, is it Kalipa Ntloko? Ntloko. Congratulations.
Come on, somebody. Yes.
Apologies if I butchered any of your names, but you will get your rewards nonetheless. Each of you win a McCafe voucher that you can use to redeem that delicious cappuccino and donut. The way we start our day, the way you can start yours as well.
And of course, one quote that really stood out from all of those quotes that came through, sent through to us, was Siabonga Muloi's one, which read, "The secret of getting ahead is getting started."
I dig it,
So
man.
to everyone watching this morning, whatever you want to do, with whatever you want to achieve, just get started. You'll worry about perfecting it later. Slay the day. The day is yours.
What's better than a sugar-coated, deliciously crispy golden brown donut and 100% Arabica beans brewed to perfection? Treat yourself and warm up your morning with a little sweetness from McCafe with the all-new mini donut and cappuccino offer. A little lovin' doesn't have to cost a lot. Great coffee, simple.
You only have one skin. Nourish it and wear it bravely.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we delve into the second hour of the show this morning. Of course, we have the great pleasure of starting our day with Sashi Naidu. She's an entrepreneur, she's a model, she's an incredible human being, done a huge amount in the industry. And of course, if you follow her on social media, you know she is a fitness fanatic. So Jamie's about to get put through her paces.
We are still coming to you live from Johannesburg in the beautiful home of Miss Sashi Naidu. Listen, you have been serving us closet goals, you have been serving us content goals, but also body goals. Can we just take a minute? Because I was looking at your Instagram and I was like, Mama is coming through with the fitness.
Thank you very much. I think, like everybody in lockdown, I was just, the only exercise I was getting was up and down those stairs, going to the fridge. Every 5 minutes. And then eventually I just had to get used to it. I bought myself some home equipment and started training from home, because I think for a good 3 months I did not do a single thing.
But that's fine, as long as you were walking to the fridge and back again.
Yes, it was really exercise and I was doing it very often.
But it obviously looks like fitness is a huge part of your lifestyle. When did the entire fitness journey maybe just start for you?
So I honestly had not set foot in a gym before the age of 30. So at around 31, I was like, things are starting
like
to
last year?
Gravity. No, I'm 40 this year. So at 30, I don't know if it's gravity or what, but I was like, no. I need to get something going here. And I'm actually in better shape now at 40 than I was when I was 25.
I just need you to say that a bit louder for the people at the back. You're 40 years old. Where? How? Please teach us your ways. What are you drinking? Okay, maybe to show us your workout, and then maybe we will look like this at 40.
Okay, fabulous. So I think the most important thing is consistency. So if you're going to be at home and training from home, like it can be 10 minutes. I think what's most important is just doing it every day, getting your heart rate up a little bit, feeling better about yourself, and then the rest of your day is so much easier. Creating that routine in this new normal we have. So you can just get your heart rate a little bit going.
There we go. Because we need to get the blood pumping because Johannesburg is
so cold in Johannesburg today. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you can just do this for about 60 seconds, but because we only have 5 minutes, thank goodness we can stop. And so for me, the most important things is the butts, my glutes, and abs. So I do a lot of core workout and get that tush. Okay, so a few squats.
You squat.
I squat. Otherwise, what else would I do?
I was going to make it look pretty, like for TV guys. But no, you go down.
And also, you need to keep your back up straight. Keep your posture good. A lot of people kind of lean forward when you're doing it. You want to keep your back up straight. Posture is important. And you'll find this doesn't seem like a hectic workout, but can you feel your heart rate's a little bit elevated?
I'm feeling a lot of things elevated.
Okay, so we'll do a few of those lunges. Lunges, so backward lunges.
Okay.
So I just go until, you can do 20 of each, or 20 on each side. I go until it's burning.
Till it's burning. Once we feel the burn, we know that we're doing something right. Got it.
Thumbs up.
And then I saw you brought some fancy equipment for us today as well. I usually don't incorporate any resistance bands.
So these are amazing. You put them around your legs. This mine's a bit harder than yours, I'm not going to lie.
And it's color coordinated. Can we just take a second?
Can we just take a moment to appreciate? So you don't need much in your at-home gym equipment. Like, you don't even need weights. You can do everything with resistance. This is a beautiful resistance band. So you'll squat down a bit and do a little crab walk. And I can feel this already. I'm dying.
So crab walk, crab walk, crab walk. Okay.
I don't even know if that's the proper name, but we're just gonna...
We'll call it the crab walk.
High five, you're doing well.
Okay,
Okay, and then you can do some floor work. So you'll go up and then push out.
I love this one.
Up. And as long as, oh my God, I'm dying already.
It's of all that lockdown where we did not do anything, and now it's time to get back.
Exactly, it's so time to get back into shape.
Well, listen, you are already in shape, so I'm going to have to catch up with you.
You know what? It doesn't feel like spring today. It is gloomy, it's raining. Although I think it's the perfect spring for 2020.
Definitely. I mean, all the things that happened. But listen, Sashi, that was good. I did break up a sweat. My heart is pumping a bit. Feeling a bit more warm now.
And I'm making you stay an hour afterwards to finish the workout. This was just a taster.
Oh, okay. Well, you heard that, guys. I'm still going to be spending the rest of the morning with Sashi Naidu right here in a beautiful home, all the way in Johannesburg. And when we come back, you're going to be taking us through how you've made it 40 years, 16 years in the entertainment. She's going to be sharing all that top secrets with us. So you want to keep it locked right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Jamie, you are just in time for something extremely delicious right now. Get ready for the plant-based curry recipe of your dreams. What would you say about a pumpkin and chickpea curry? Yes, Chef Clem is in the kitchen and is taking you through all the steps that you need, from roasting your own spices to creating a, what? Moorish end result. Chef Clem!
Like we're in black today.
Because we came here with a mission.
What's our mission?
Our mission is to make sure that we serve nothing but the best plant-based curry.
Yeah, because you know what's funny, right? People always say like, vegan food, plant-based food, is boring. And it's not. It's really great. It kind of allows you to play around with spices and amp up dishes a lot more because you're like playing with the flavors of like your pumpkin, your butternut, and your chickpeas, and your spinach. It's great when you get all your veggies in there. So I absolutely love it. Playing around with some spices, some that I want to see if you can identify them. Do you want to play that game?
Sure. Okay, I'm not really great with spices and identifying spices.
You can call a friend once. Okay.
Okay.
I'm your friend. Okay, cool. Onions are going, by the way, because you want to cook those down nice and golden brown and soft before we do anything else, okay?
Is that on high temperature or low heat?
It's on a nice low heat.
Okay.
If it is too high, thank you for asking that. If it is too high, there's sugars in onions. When it's too high, you're going to caramelize those sugars to the point where they burn and become bitter. And that bitter flavor will carry through the flavor of your curry, so we don't want that.
No.
Nice and low and slow. Okay, let's play this game. All right.
I'm seeing oh. You know what? Oh, that's pepper, black pepper. All right.
1,000 Rand.
Thank you very much. That is time.
No. One more try. Cumin. Okay, cumin because there's a lot.
I don't know what that is.
Mustard seed.
It looks like okay. That looks like that, but bigger version of mustard seeds.
Coriander.
Okay. Chili.
Yeah. This one. If you get this, to camera, if you get this, I will give you 1,000 Rand.
Cash.
I will give you 1,000 Rand.
You want me?
No, cash money.
Ballin'. Okay. I need a closer look. Can I smell it? I feel like
you can do whatever.
It has a very weird the smell also has an aftertaste.
5.
It's like
4.
3.
This is 1,000 Rand we're playing with right now.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just lost 1,000 Rand. What is this?
It's mace. I don't blame you.
Mace?
I don't blame you. Mace is so amazing. It's a spice we don't use anymore. Like, you hardly see people using mace at all. But it's on shelf at Woolies. It adds the most fragrant floral flavor to your curries. It is so beautiful. Mace is the outer layer of nutmeg. So you get nutmeg, the little round guy. Mace grows outside the nutmeg, if you think about nutmeg, a little bit of nutmeg adds so much flavor. Mace does that as well, but it's so much more floral. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm here to learn in any case when I Chef Clem, and that's exactly why you are here. I love, though, the variety of the different spices on the table, the different colors, the different textures, because I can only imagine what the final product is going to look like.
It's going to look so amazing. And what I love about the fact is, you're not going to, if you eat this meal, you're not going to be like, oh my goodness, I can completely tell that this is meat-free. It's so flavorful. It's so delicious. You're not lacking anything when you have this dish. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the spices into this little pan over meat. Spices have oils in them, and by doing this, you're kind of waking up the spices. Those oils heat up, become so fragrant. Because you've got that mustard seed that's in there. It's going to start popping. It might even pop out the pan, but that's fun. Food that fights back is the best kind of food. You can see that? You can see that?
I'm not trying to eat food that's fighting me back.
Why not? Okay, cool. What I'm going to need you to do for me is, these hot spices are in here now. Can you please grind it up for me?
Not a problem.
There you go. So what I want to do next is this.
How do I do?
Okay. So what you do is you're starting off quite well. You want to kind of like break it down slowly, and then as soon as you've broken it down a little bit, you start grinding.
Oh, I see.
And you can put some movement in it when you go,
Hey,
Okay, I like it. So, okay, I've added some garlic and some ginger to my onions, right? And that's gonna start like, you wanna, in a recipe when we say cook until fragrant, I don't like saying cook for 1 minute to 2 minutes because then you're literally gonna be like, 1 minute done and walk away. No, it's all about using your senses. So you can smell that garlic, you can smell that ginger. That way you know it's cooking through and you're ready for the next step. And I'm gonna ask you for, you keep on going with the spices. The next step will be our spices that's gonna be added to it.
Okay.
But what we're doing is we're adding some pumpkin or butternut to this curry. But before we do that, I actually wanna add extra flavor. We're gonna do that by roasting it.
We're roasting our butternut.
Yeah.
I mean, our pumpkin.
So, the original recipe, and you'll see it says use pumpkin, but I like the fact that you can kind of mix it up and use butternut, as well as you can use whatever veggies you have going on in your house. This is a great way, if you have any veggies on your counter or on your fridge that you're trying to use, this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so salt, pepper, little paprika, and I love the paprika in that because the sweetness of the paprika goes so well with the sweetness of the butternut, the pumpkin, the coriander seeds, the cumin seeds, and the curry leaves.
I feel like Chef Clem is just winging it right now.
Don't tell everyone my secret. Okay, cool.
No, I'm kidding.
This goes on a tray, and it goes into the oven, and it comes out beautiful and delicious like this. And again, because they roasted it, we added so much extra flavor to it.
Yeah.
Okay, can I have your curry spice?
Some love and affection into it.
Thank you. Okay.
And can I just say that the smell or the fragrance coming from the spices alone are just delicious.
Thank you, I love that. And then you want to play around with spices. People are very scared because they think when they use spices, it ends up being spicy and hot. There's a difference between spiced and spicy.
Yeah.
This is spiced, okay?
Spice.
And also make a recipe your own. If you feel like a recipe is too hot, this one uses like that whole dry chili. Use less. Do what you know is going to be good for you. Okay, so the pumpkin's gone in there. This is one that we actually put into a food processor and blitzed, that same curry spice. This is the powder version of it, but we've used your version because it's much better. Okay, so to that, we're going to add our pumpkin, we're going to add our chickpeas, and we're keeping it plant-based, we're keeping it vegan, right? So to do that, we're actually using coconut yogurt instead of cream or normal yogurt, and this is going to still add that beautiful tropical flavor to it. It's going to make it creamy.
Oop, careful.
Did I get my salt?
Yes, you did.
Apron. The one day that I'm actually wearing an apron, thank you. So, okay, so that goes in there. That's going to make it beautiful and creamy. And then, in the last 10 minutes of this curry, I add spinach. You can use kale.
The final 10 minutes of your curry.
You don't want to cook it down too much that it kind of like disappears. I want a little bit of crunch in there. So you can use kale, any hardy, like green leaf. That goes in there. That's going to cook down. Don't forget your salt. You need to season. Every time you make a curry, it needs a generous amount of seasoning. So salt goes in there. That's going to bring out the flavors of all the spices you got in there and your veggies in there. Finish with a little sprinkling of coriander when it comes out. Serve it over some beautiful seed rice, poppadoms.
It looks delicious. Chef Clem, thank you so much. If you would like to get your hands on this awesome recipe, make sure to head on over to our website, expressoshow.com.
I'll still give you 1,000 rand. Here you go.
Welcome back, you beautiful people, to it. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. We're live on SABC3. Beautiful Wednesday morning. Thank you very much for joining us on this morning as we get into the mix of the week. Time for us to take a look at what's happening in the cinemas. We're talking about the latest movie trailers, but of course, when it comes to chatting movies and chatting about that world, we know that, you know, on the 28th of August, we all woke up to the sad passing of Chadwick Boseman. And so JP Sebastian joins us to reflect on the man's, I suppose, life and, of course, his contribution to the industry, but also his work and his nature as a human.
It was deeply, deeply saddening. I was as shocked as everyone else, of course. And the way he made Black Panther so much more of a personal, human kind of story than just let's go through the motions of he gets the superpowers, then the cape, then that's that kind of thing. Like, it really goes to show what was going through his heart and his mind at the time. But there are a couple of other things that I want to say. I read Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, his tribute to Chadwick Boseman, and two things that struck me in that was so heartbreaking is that Chadwick studied at Howard University, an HBCU, and historically black university, and there he studied directing. And so he had in mind a trajectory at all times to become a creator at that level as well. He was intimately involved behind the scenes on Black Panther, co-wrote the movie basically. Wow. Spent days in Ryan Coogler's flat where they just thrashed out ideas, where he fleshed out the character so much more and gave it, breathed life and immortalized Black Panther on behalf of Black Panther, not the other way around. The dude was physically involved head to toe. If you watch the behind the scenes of Black Panther, by the way, the man is a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and it was actually more exciting than the final movie itself. But the most important takeaway that I think that Chadwick Boseman, that I learned from him, and that I'm sure a lot of us did when we watched that interview, there was a popular interview going around where he was talking about two kids who were stage 4 as well, who he visited. And there he, you know, we think, oh, a person has to fall from a height, and then that's the loss, that's the mourning. Oh my goodness, he had so much going for him, and then he was struck down by this. But he was motivated himself by nobodies. Children who didn't have a future ahead of them. And he said, the reason I wake up and go to gym that day to train for Black Panther is for them. It didn't matter what their future was, what their careers were, or what anything.
What a fight.
Incredible person.
Man, may his, of course, rest in power.
Yes, rest in power.
Okay, so we know that, of course, the movies are out now again. We're seeing the various studios are coming out with the trailers that they held back on.
There is a huge appetite for movies.
There is such a huge appetite. And one such movie, latest movie trailers, is Time.
Yeah, so this segment I wanted to do for you is just theme everything according to Chadwick Boseman, in fact. These are all documentaries for a start, and all of them deal with people who, despite the odds, are pushing through, which is not a world we should sort of be happy about necessarily. Why anyone should have to suffer what Fox Rich is going through in this documentary is beyond me. So this is a true story. Of course it is a documentary, and it made the rounds at Sundance Festival, where it won an award for Best United States Documentary Director, first time by a black woman. And it is the true story of Fox Rich, who is a mother of 6 children. She is waiting for her husband to be let out of prison, but in the United States for the kind of crime that he committed, which was a bank robbery with no one harmed, no shots fired, and where he surrendered. He got 60 years in prison and will only be considered for parole once he served 85%.
Wow.
So it has been called a masterpiece. It's been called one of the greatest documentaries of all time. The director, Garrett Bradley, originally just wanted to make a short movie about Fox Rich's life. And then Fox Rich, this lady who you're looking at there, gave her a bag of 100 hours worth of tapes and said, these are the diaries I've been making for my husband while he waits in jail. And how do you then, as a director, go into
all of that,
hundreds of hours, and you go, I'm going to choose what gets to say and what gets to go. But right now, if we're talking about stuff like abolition, if we're talking about abolition of police, abolition of prisons, Fox Rich is one of those women who's so important to it. And we're all talking about Angela Davis, Ruth Wilson Gordon. Like, all these names are coming out, and these are conversations that we need to have. It's not just this personal story of a fight, but a fight against the system that is unjust.
A complete system, but I see that the style of the movie as well, black and white, which I'm sure is deliberate and is meant to portray a certain or
It was something that, you know, black and white gives us that luxury of you see the finest details then in emotion in faces. You almost see like there was almost a glimmer of color, a glimmer of a silver lining of hope. And, you know, we saw that from stuff like, say, Roma most recently. But this was shot before Roma, and it really gives you and highlights those smaller things you take for granted sometimes in color movies.
I love it. Well, listen, this sounds like it's received very, very good reviews.
Been called a masterpiece by
so many, winning that award at Sundance as well, really just adding that stamp to it. But of course, JP Sebastian is going to be sitting with us because the show ends at 8 o'clock this morning. We're going to do this via Facebook. So we'll do a Facebook Live where we will go deep into these movies, more of these trailers coming out that you need to be checking out. But we invite you to weigh in on the conversation on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. Remember to use that hashtag Expresso Show. Come one, come all. That'll be happening after 8 o'clock. We'll share details later.
Yazzie G, last night I actually watched Black Panther for the culture because I was away for so long, and then I just decided to treat myself to a movie night. But I needed one thing to keep it alive because I ended up passing out. It's a crushie. I like mine bursting with, you know, so much flavor, 100% taste and fruitiness. And what is a crushie without loads of crushed ice? Well, simply would not be a crushie. Don't go anywhere because G-Man is going to show us exactly how to achieve the most crushiest 100% crushie.
I'm going to be your crush this morning.
Yes,
really am going to be your crush this morning. No, it's super, super simple. Obviously, we're playing on slushies or so last season. You want a crushie. No, we want to harness the beautiful fruit flavors, and we've got a myriad of fruit flavors to be able to choose from. So I'm going to go right in with the berries, our crushed juice blend there, to create first up the ice blocks, because ice is obviously at the heart of that. So you want to kind of fill up your tray, and I mean, you don't have to use all of it in one go. You can just keep a tray of beautiful
so are we keeping it berry today?
We're going very berry. No, but it's. I mean, you can go crazy, man. But I like all the various berry flavors, and we're going to include the fresh berries there. We've got raspberries, we've got blueberries. That's obviously just so healthy, man. It packs such a punch with antioxidants and the vitamins that you're going to get in one of these little guys. Absolutely amazing. So that, pop into the freezer, keep it. You can use as many as you like, but you want quite a lot of ice. So what we're going to do first up is I'm going to grab as many of these little guys as I can. You can even, I know it's not summer yet, but just pop one in your mouth and cool yourself down as you are.
We are prepping for summer, G.
It's officially spring. You weren't here for Spring Day yesterday, so happy Spring Day.
Happy Spring Day.
We've got, it looks like Nicole might have even spiced it up with a few other additional flavors kind of in the mix there. But the two flavors that we are kind of going for, I think that's enough for now, actually. We are going to be going for cranberry. So we're going to put some fresh berries in there as well.
Delish. Frozen berries.
Frozen berries. We're going for raspberries and blueberries. Beautiful. It's going to be very icy.
You know what?
Too full. And then, I'm going for the cranberry crush to top it up. And you can kind of, if you want to make it, there we go. If you want to get that kind of 100% ice consistency, a little bit less. If you want more, hopefully that's going to be all right and won't explode all over the place.
Please, no, I'm not prepared for that.
Okay, there we go. Da, da, da.
The magic.
It's so beautiful. Look at that. Look at that.
That looks good. Woo-hoo. That looks good.
What I'm going to ask you to do is just grab 2 mint sprigs there, because the mint really does, it's fresh and it's beautiful. I'm going to lean across, grab one of you, grab one of you. That's the perfect consistency, actually.
Oh, that looks really delicious.
How fresh does this look?
100% fresh, 100% fruity, 100% delicious.
100%. I love it. So I know it's a bit laborious kind of stirring it out. Otherwise, this is going to flop. I know, but if I pour this, it's going to go pop all over the table, and we don't want to waste one beautiful sencha. So you can find the full recipe for our crushies on expressoshow.com. Really simple and easy to make, filled with lots of flavor. Obviously, there we go. Beautiful. Just enough for both of us.
I can't wait to try it out.
And then we can just add a little bit of fresh pop, and there you have it. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
That's yours, sister.
Thank you. And you know what I actually realized? We could have put the mint in the actual mixture.
Oh,
that's a great
David, how
idea.
beautiful. And then we've got our reusable straws there as well. But I think that's the perfect consistency.
Gorgeous.
Eh? And it's cold, it's icy, it's going to stay fresh if it's a hot day. Beautiful. You could even throw another little thing in there if you wanted to spice it up a little bit more. I'm just saying. But absolutely beautiful and so simple to make. Cheers,
Yes.
love.
Now this berry delicious crushie, you can get it on our website, expressoshow.com. This tasty crushie is filled with 100% goodness with clover crush and is the perfect fresh and fruity treat for those stay-home nights, movie nights with your family and your best friends. Cheers to you.
Just have a
Thank
taste.
you.
It's actually unbelievable. How nice is that? Hey? How good is that?
Oh, amazing.
Get out. Woo.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso right here on SABC3. Now we have received countless selfless donations from all over South Africa, irrespective of age or where in the world we may come from. Every bit of your help has made a big difference to families in need. Now today's donations come from no other than our 12-year-old pesto prince himself, Baldo.
It's pailletta, you said. Pailletta.
Pailletta. Now, last week he showed us, the art of making his favorite basil pesto. And this week he's showing us another one of his favorite things, and that is to give back to communities in need.
Hey guys, Baldo here. So I made some more pesto, obviously, every single day. So you guys gotta shake your pockets because we are donating to the Fill a Bag donation for Woolworths. So I'm donating 200 Rand. It's as easy as SnapScan. Just gotta scan a QR code and there you go.
Oh, Baldo, well done, buddy. Can you give Baldo a big round of applause?
I love that.
Little champion. He was so cool. He was such a cool cat on TV. So I expected great things and we received great things. Thank you so much, buddy. And thanks to the ongoing and undying attitude of you, South Africa, you guys at home, and the help that Woolworths have added to that, we've managed to raise a whopping 2.779 million 547. That's nearly 3 million rand, guys. Nearly 3 million rand. We're edging closer to that 1 million meal mark as well. That's the target they've set, which will be achieved if roughly just 5,800 South Africans. That's like all of you now, sitting watching now, just 5,800 of you donate 10 Rand each. We can achieve that. So thanks once again to Baldo, his family, for opening up their hearts and inspiring us to keep reaching out to those who deserve and need our help.
Yeah, Siyabonga, indeed. 5,800 of you donating 10 Rand each. We will reach that goal, and we certainly can do it because together we will, and we can. But that's not all that Woolies are doing to support their fellow South Africans. They're always hard at work doing something interesting. The Sanlam Cape Town Virtual Marathon is almost here. It's around the corner, and Woolies have got the need to feed, to give you what you need to succeed and take the lead. Yes, indeed, that's right. On the 18th of October, selected Woolies stores will be helping you cross your virtual finish line with feeding stations spread across the country. There are going to be so many of them. These selected stores will be offering a suitable selection of snacks and refreshments, and they'll also be situated outside the store for your convenience and, of course, perfect for getting you back on your virtual route, which obviously is a tick. Now, choosing from any of the selected stores situated in the Western Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, you can plan your route accordingly and, of course, include your selected Woolies as a pit stop. That's actually quite smart. But now back to our cooking. An essential part of training for any event is the correct intake of the right foods. We all know this. You always need to replenish your body before and after any big race. And this next recipe is going to do just the trick. I promise you. It's a butter bean and pea burger with smashed avocado. A burger, yes. Peas, yes. And avocado, absolute yes. Chef Clem, you're trying to win this heart. Every day you work harder than the previous day.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
This heart and the hearts of many South Africans who are watching.
We're just out here trying to be the daily difference. That's all we're doing.
But you know, you are the difference that keeps on giving.
And feeding.
And feeding.
How cool are those feeding stations for the Cape Town Marathon?
I love that. That's actually very smart.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be, I'm not taking part in the race.
Are you not?
I'm not.
Why not?
Because I'm working on the day.
Okay.
I'm going to be going around Cape Town, visiting all the feeding stations, making sure everybody's happy. So if you're taking part in the Cape Town Marathon, we might bump into each other. A little hi, a little shout out.
If you need a little helper to help prep the food.
You want to come through?
Eat any leftovers.
Oh. All right, okay.
I'm sure there are many people who will volunteer. They'll be DMing you on.
Maybe someone's name that starts with the tub and into the ESO.
I
heard about him. He's a cool guy. But
so what are we doing?
So this is a really great. I was talking to Graham a little bit about the Cape Town Marathon and about prep before and prep after.
Yeah.
And one of the great things is like reward yourself, but like still be kind to yourself. Yeah. This burger comes through with that. You've run your marathon now. You need that fuel again because you're going to do that. Restore yourself. This burger really does. So what I've done is I've added some of the pre-cooked barley, and these are really great. Normally, you just go into the microwave, 90 seconds, and you're good to go. Okay. I'm not going to do that now. Now it's going to go into our food processor. Okay. That's in there. It's going to actually form the body of the burger patty with some of the beans we're doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm very keen to see what that's going to look like.
We're using butter beans, but you can use kidney beans, cannelloni beans. What beans?
Butter beans. Butter beans.
Yeah,
I am a butter bean guy.
Butter bean guy, absolutely. Also in curries. Oh my goodness. Okay, in peas. Love peas. Also love the peas in this recipe because it gives it a nice vibrant green color, and I dig that. Okay. It is a veggie patty anyway, but it still comes with all the protein and all the flavor.
Okay, let's
peas going in.
Yep.
This is a beautiful taste recipe, and I love this recipe. It's just fresh. Kind of reminds you of spring. Yes, Cape Town, I know there's snow.
Not just Cape Town. It's cold in most parts of the country. Did you hear the weather report when Kuhle was going through it there? So we all need a bit of comfort.
Something, absolutely.
Comfort.
But, I mean, essentially, peas are so like, when we think spring, we think peas, green, young, and fresh, and the flavors do come through. And definitely by the time the Cape Town Marathon's happening on the 18th of October, it's going to be a little warmer.
It's going to be warmer, surely.
Definitely.
And hopefully we're crossing fingers for that.
Cool. So, in we go with some salt and some pepper. I also like the fact that I'm talking about the marathon a lot because I'm really inspired about it because I'm actually working at it.
Yeah.
The fact that now you don't just have to be in Cape Town, you can be anywhere
in the country.
In the world.
Look, there's
in the world,
in the world. That is absolutely...
Can I make a noise?
Yeah, please do. And the thing is about when you run a marathon... No.
Tell me about it.
No, nothing about running a marathon.
Oh,
I was just trying to speak while the noise was going on so that nobody hears what I'm saying.
Okay. So what I've done is here's where you can totally use your own discretion, right? If you want a super fine patty, let it go for a little longer.
Yeah.
I kind of like the combination of like fine, but a little bit of chunky. You want to know what's in there. So the bottom of it is nice and blitzed, and then the top has still got chunky bits of the barley, of the peas, of the beans. All you're going to do then is, you can see that nice combination there. All you're going to do then is to shape them into patties. And I like to chill them slightly just before I put it in the oil.
And how do you want to start shaping them into sort of your patties? Do you want them cool like that, or would you need to add some water?
Nothing.
Would you need to warm them up? How?
You give the barley a chance to kind of hydrate. To suck up the moisture of the peas and the beans.
With the mix.
And that's it. Don't add anything else. You're good to go.
I see.
So what you're going to do now is you take your beautiful patties and you're going to pop them into a pan, or you can use canola oil, olive oil. Go crazy. Give it a good sear though. Treat it like you would a normal beef patty.
Yeah.
It's a little sticky, but that's expected because of the fact that we got all those the peas and the beans in there.
Yes.
Get some oil on there. It's a little hot, but that's fine. We're good.
You know what they say? If you can't handle the heat, step out the kitchen.
That's
you
not
can
that hard.
handle, You can
That's fine.
handle the heat.
Absolutely.
So you're staying in the kitchen.
So there, the patties go in. Give that a chance to. What you want to do now is not fiddle with it.
Yeah.
Give it a chance to form that crust. Okay, the crust is a must with this one, especially.
Hey.
And when that crust forms, it also stabilizes the patty as well.
It's so cool that you still can get a crust with this.
Yes.
I think that is so cool, even though it's a plant-based patty.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think we're coming through with the plant-based dishes in general today?
Wow.
How do you think about our curry we made earlier?
I didn't see it.
Huh.
I'm gonna check. I didn't see that. I was making coffee. I don't know. I'll check it out.
Also, shot for offering the coffee for me. It's fine. You can just nod. Such a politician. I like that. Okay, so let's talk.
It's an interesting take.
Okay, some vegan mayo going in there, and that's because we're just keeping it plant-based. Then what I want to do now is I've got some sun-dried tomatoes. They are so great.
I love those.
Okay, one thing about meat adds like an umami flavor to everything to all your dishes. We're bringing that umami flavor through with our sun-dried tomatoes. Then you can chop them up. I kind of like keeping it nice and chunky.
So beautiful.
It almost looks like meat, doesn't it?
It does.
So that's going on there.
It really does, for real.
So let's just turn this over. Let's check on our patties.
When are we getting to the avo part? Because
you want to get some avo?
I've really been waiting for that.
Let me just turn over these patties. So the avo is really, really simple. We've done a couple of smashed avo recipes before. All you want to do is you want to just get your avo. A trick question, what type of avo is this? Have you done?
But that's a feuilleté.
It's a Haas.
Oh, that's...
No. The fact that you even came through with that in the first place, I'm impressed.
Is it a Haas?
The Haas is the dark-skinned
one. Oh, that's the dark-skinned one.
Yes.
You see, I get confused sometimes. I mean, even I get confused sometimes.
And you are the
avo
prince. You are the prince of...
Ah, man.
Okay, cool. So all we're going to do with that is just literally get your avo in there. And it's a smashed one. If you wanted to make it super fine, you could do that. But what are you going to do now? Season salt.
I actually got my avo the other day on special.
Yeah. Yes.
From the Daily Difference.
Look at you coming through with the Daily Difference.
If you want this recipe and you want to get involved, please go onto our website. It's www.expressoshow.com. We've got the recipe with all of the ingredients loaded on there. Of course, remember, the feeding stations that Chef Clem spoke about are only available to runners who are actively taking part in the Sanlam Cape Town Virtual Marathon. So if you haven't registered yet, your chance is right now. Go on there and register. It's capetownmarathon.com, and you can enter and register from anywhere in the world. As you heard, entry fees range from 50 Rand for the 5-kilometer race to 180 Rand for the marathon. Of course, there is really, of course, a distance for anybody, depending on what you want to do, right? You can even walk the 5K or the 10K if you want. You can walk it. Like
you can do it in your back garden.
Man,
you don't need to be on the road.
Then it was definitely created for me. The Sanlam Cape Town Marathon is sure to be fun for all. Get the family involved. Do it with the family. Make it fun. Make it interactive. Get your friends together. Now you know what to do on that day. Okay.
So I rushed it now. I would let it sit in the pan for a little longer to get that serious crust in it. These burgers are...
This is what they look like. They look so good. And I'm sure they're going to taste just as good as they look, because it's packed with flavor in there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But once again, if you want the recipe, go onto our website. It's expressoshow.com. And of course, a bit later on, we're going to have a culinary hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting. That's going to be happening on our Facebook Live, because the show ends at 8 a.m. to make way for the Matrix with Was a Matric. We want to make sure that we still get that culinary delight going through. So Chef Claire will be answering some of your culinary conundrums on there. Go on to our Expresso Morning Show SABC3 Facebook page and drop any questions or comments if you want Chef Clem to answer those, of course. I don't know yet. Yes, I've just been told, yes, I am doing it with you. So that's going to be happening later on. Culinary hotline bling, put it here. Ting, ting, ting. We'll see you. Happy eating, everybody.
Get ready to run the Sanlam Cape Town Virtual Marathon wherever you are in the world on the 18th of October 2020. The race is on.
This Saturday evening at 8 on SABC3. The Insider SA celebrates strong and enterprising women. We visit the beautiful home of an award-winning CEO who shares her perspective on job creation. See how a top designer modeled her own creations during lockdown, and learn how an entrepreneur converts shipping containers into homes and offices. That's the Insider SA, Saturday night at 8, only on SABC3.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So we've been loving starting the day with the incredible Sashi Naidu, driving force in the industry, not only for the work that she's done on camera, on screen, obviously her photographic work speaks for itself, but she is also an incredible businesswoman and has launched her own little empire that we're going to explore a little bit further right now with Jamie.
We are still having such a beautiful morning in Johannesburg, waking up with the beautiful Sashi Naidu. Thank you so much, just for opening up your home this morning to us, taking us through your closet, taking us through a workout. But really, I got to know you on such a different level because how you started the journey in the entertainment space, and I want you to share that with everyone.
We were actually talking about it earlier in the break. It was a funny story. I was in my second year of chiropractic, and I started a business, a little florist, to make my way through varsity to make ends meet. And a lot of my clients were advertising agencies, so I was dropping off flowers at the ad agency, and they were like, "Oh, you're here for the casting?" And I was like, "What's a casting?" But I'm dropping off your flowers. And I went in for the audition, which was a casting, and I got that job, and that was the start.
Imagine, look at that, now being obviously the owner of a modeling agency since 2008. A lot of people has now have to take a step back because of the entire pandemic. How has COVID-19 affected you and your business and just the space that you're in right now?
COVID-19 has obviously had a massive impact on most industries. I think in specifically the modeling industry, that we rely heavily on international jobs. So people come because we're one of the cheapest places to film. You can't get anywhere more beautiful than South Africa. And the rates are really fantastic, but now people can't get in. So unfortunately, all of that work has come to a stop. Very sad. And obviously also we can't really do castings because we need to keep social distancing. So models are required to do self-tape at home, where they video themselves. And a lot of people don't have the best equipment to do that kind of thing. So, and it's really shut down an entire part of the industry, casting directors. So a lot of people unfortunately have been very badly affected. I also own an aesthetic laser clinic, Lucia Aesthetics, and we couldn't open until quite recently, and it's been tough. We had to continue paying all salaries, and I think that was really important to me, to continue paying my staff their full salaries during lockdown. And every day I would be like, TikTok, when are we opening? I can imagine. But even now, I think people are scared to go to restaurants, they're scared to go to beauty salons. So as much as people are fearful, I think the important thing is kind of to be also cognizant of local business. It's really sad when you go into the malls and so many industries or businesses are closing down. I think people, I would advise, they take the necessary precautions, but still support your local business if they need it, if you can see they need it.
You know what I love about everything is that you're still so positive and you still have such a beautiful message to share with so many. And maybe in closing, because we've had such a beautiful morning, a message of hope for, the women and the girls out there that look up to you and say, one day, I want to be the next Sashi Naidu that walks into a place and then get booked for casting.
Yeah, I think, oh gosh, that's I don't think anyone when they're young thinks that, I'm so fabulous, I'm going to grow up and be a model and a model agent. But I think, yes, you have to, if there was a message that I knew when I was younger, if I could give it to myself, just be kind to yourself, Stop beating yourself up. The things that you find unattractive or undesirable about yourself are actually the things that make you so unique and beautiful. So that's what I'd say to the young girls out there. And I think to other entrepreneurs, this is the time to reflect and strategize. So yes, it's very tough times, but I think the people who come out of this fighting and battling, we will be the remaining entrepreneurs. It's just about making your way through and navigating what's happening right now.
Your face is on. We met you in the pajamas. Now the day is set. What does the rest of the day look like in the world of Sashi Naidu?
So I will be going into Lucia Models. We're doing some remodeling of our offices. I can't wait because we started just before COVID, and obviously obviously that industry shut down too, so I'm getting to finally finish that because my staff has still been working from home up until now. So that will be great to have my team back. And then, I usually pop into my aesthetic laser clinic in Pretoria, so I'll be doing that later in the day.
I'm so glad that you forgot that we're going to do an extra workout, so I'm so glad that I'm off the hook for that one.
The red lips are on, so you can't be working out.
Again, thank you so much just for allowing us in this space this morning. I'm sure South Africa has taken so much from you and just your message and your story that you've shared with us this morning. And I mean, you're still looking fabulous at 40. Let me just say that a bit louder. She is still 40. Guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Expresso Morning Show. Please do connect with us on our social media platforms. But right now, I'm signing out, and maybe I'll go get some laser done.
Cheers. Yes, you're in Joburg. We're going to do it.
Yes.
Well, cheers, Jamie Lee. Cheers, Sashi Naidu. Thank you very much for welcoming us into your home this morning. It's been so fantastic waking up with Sashi Naidu. Did you ever dream of waking up?
I'm still in bed thinking about it.
You're still dreaming about it. But listen, we do so much more on our Facebook Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, straight after the show. At 10 minutes past 8, JP and I are going to continue our conversation about movies, trailers, and movies that are coming out that you need to be checking out.
Yes.
So do be sure to join us there.
All right, then of course we're going to be delving into the culinary hotline. Bling! Ding, ding, ding! We're going to be having a lot of fun creating all sorts of things. I'm seeing a slab of meat there, boo. It looks amazing. So what are we going to be playing with? You've got 40
We're talking
seconds.
fillet, we're talking chicken,
Boom.
we're talking lamb,
Boom.
and cabbage.
And cabbage.
So after all that plant-based, there have been quite a few questions about meat though, and we want to help you today. And then we're doing it on Culinary Hotline.
We don't marginalize. We don't marginalize. So if you've got any questions or you want to weigh in, of course, we're going to be live on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. Join the conversation. We'll have a chat live and have a lot of fun. And we get to plug into the big old brain of Chef Clem here as well. He's got some gems now. But from our team for now, good luck to all the matrics who are about to get down to their studying. We love you guys so much, and we'll see you live on Facebook in just a moment.
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.